Sagittarius, welcome. I am Tarot King the Prophet. This is a very overdue presentation of the Crown King Tarot. So, I am going to do a reading for Sagittarius for mid-December through mid-January. Let's do it like that. And so I start all my readings out. It's been a while, so excuse me, I'm a little rusty. You know, if you've been to my channel, you already know I can go, but I'm a little rusty or whatever. I'm gonna use the Moonology Tarot deck to pull just the open general energy, and then I have a little deck and I have a big deck. I'm gonna use my big deck to do the general energy of the reading, and then I'm gonna use it to highlight the past, present, and the future, and then I'm gonna use my little deck to clarify the past, present, and the future. And then I will get a summary for each section with the little deck, and then I'll come back around to the big deck to get a final message from the universe. All right, excuse me, this is not my original setup. Usually you guys can see all the cards as I do them, but I just put them in the screen and show y'all what I'm working with, you know what I'm saying, instead of showing the whole setup as usual. I'm doing things a little different today. I'm not in my space, so let me see if we can set up better. All right, there we go. So I've already said my prayer. I pray to God, ancestors, nothing crazy, nothing weird or anything like that, nothing extra out the ordinary or anything like that. Just God, ancestors. All right. Without further ado, I've already shuffled the cards, so we're gonna go ahead and pull a card from the Moonology Oral deck and see what it has to say. The new moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success, Sagittarius. Confidence is your key to success. Let's see what this shares. New moon Leo. 5. 5 is your number, Sagittarius. 5. Confidence is your key to success. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, where you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. And Sagittarius is very creative. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. The attunement to the moon is make time to have fun, and the teaching behind it is Leo is the sign of the big and brave-hearted lion, of pride and showmanship and flirting. The energy around the new moon in Leo, and therefore around this card whenever you pick it, is hot and generous. The energy loves itself, and so should you. If you've been too much of a wallflower, this new moon card and the Leo new moon comes as a reminder that you need to be proud of who you are, Sagittarius. Be proud of who you are. I see I don't get husky. Be proud of who you are. Be very, very confident, Sagittarius. Not really hard for you guys to do, is it? You guys are pretty confident as far as I know of. You know, you guys are really like goal-oriented people. You guys push forward towards your goals and you do things big, being ruled by that planet Jupiter. All right, so I already shuffled these once, but shuffle them a little bit more. It's not gonna work. All right, so that's gonna be your general energy. The 6 of Arrows, transition. This is about transitioning, Sagittarius, moving from the old and to the new. What are we talking about here? So we're gonna go into the past, the present, and the future. I actually just pulled majority of these cards for somebody that I just did a reading for. You had the King of Stones in reverse. This is about not being an alpha wolf, not taking charge, not being the head of your project possibly, or your life, or something to that extent. Not being the head of something, Sagittarius. You know what I mean? Taking a back seat role, or waiting on someone, or waiting on something, or letting other things decide your fate for you. Okay, this is the past. The present is about healing. This is either about you being healed or you healing someone. And given that what we're talking about, where we're at with it right now, I think this is about you healing, Sagittarius. I think this is you gaining something in this with the 7 of stones here. In the future, we have the Ace of Arrows in reverse. You know what I mean? Someone else just got this card. And to me, right now, it's all about moving away from the truth, moving away from your truth, you know, what you believe is true. Okay. So maybe in this reading, what I'm getting so far is back in the past, possibly you felt like you needed something, or that you had to listen to something to guide you, to move you forward, to be okay as Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? Like you needed some kind of leadership, you know, and this is not saying that it's true. I'm saying that this is possibly how you felt like you needed somebody else, or that you needed this guy, that you needed whatever it was, you know, maybe not following your intuition, not following your instincts or something like that. And coming into this present, this is you healing from that. You know what I mean? Maybe you left the situation, maybe whoever or whatever it was that you had that was leading you, maybe it was toxic for you. You know what I mean? But whatever it was in this present right now, you are healing from it. You are being healed from it. Okay. And then coming into the future is you moving away from a truth. Okay. I can't even feel like maybe it's a lie that's coming to surface. You know what I mean? I can't even feel like that. I just feel like, you know, like you moving away possibly from your truth. All right. Here we go with the little deck. We're going to do a little clarifying and see what we come up with. Once again, I said I've already shuffled, but I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. Let's see what we get for you, Sagittarius. All right, so going to the past, we have the 4 of Balls in reverse, the 10 of Arrows right side up, and the King of Vessels in reverse. Okay, so once again, you had this King of Stones in reverse, and this is what we're clarifying right here. And like I said, that's about you not playing the alpha wolf. You not taking a leading role. You listening to something, listening to somebody. With this 4 of Balls in reverse, this is like you having the same thing that everybody else has. You know, it kind of makes me feel like a person that's in your life. You know, a person that's in your life, and you allow them to take the lead. But as you allow them to take the lead with this 10 of Arrows right here, this is about them tripping you up. You know what I mean? Telling you what to do, telling you this, leading you this way, leading you that way. In all actuality, they were probably leading you the wrong way. And then we have this Knight of Vessels right here in reverse, and this is something leaving up out. You feel me? So I think that this entity or this person or whatever it was came into your life, led you into a direction. You know what I mean? Tripped you up, maybe stole from you, maybe took from you, or just led you in the wrong direction. And maybe you woke up to that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you didn't. Maybe they just disappeared, because right now you're healing. You know, you're learning to move on your own, learning to move without whatever entity this is. So I don't know if this person just left, or this thing just left, or maybe it was just a time in your life, a period in your life where you just felt like you were being guided. Like no matter what you did, no matter how hard you try to go left, you ended up going right. You know what I mean? But whatever it was that was running you back here in this past, it's gone. It's left. It's gone. You know, in some situations, like I said, it may be a person. In other situations, it just may be a feeling. You know, maybe just a period in life, some sort of mental thing, you know what I mean, that was allowing you to, maybe some sort of depression, you know, if you're going through this depression and this depression tripped you up, you know, but it started to leave, you know what I mean? And now that it's leaving, you're in this transition, just like the general energy says. And now in this present, you're healing. Let's get some clarification to the healing. Yes. Okay. So you have the 7 arrows in reverse, the 6 of arrows, and the archer. Okay. Now you 7 arrows and the 6 of arrows in reverse as well. Okay. This is all great energy right now. With this 7 of arrows being in reverse, this is about being secure. You know what I mean? Gaining that confidence of what it is that you need, just like the Moonology card was telling you. You know, gaining that security, that strength that you need to move on. And this is the card of transition in reverse. The six of arrows. It's the card of transition, but it's in reverse, so it's not transitioning. You know what I mean? And I feel like there was no need. You know what I mean? There was no need for you to keep crossing over, for you to keep transitioning. I feel like life maybe possibly transitioned itself. Whatever it was, like if it was up to you, this entity or this feeling or whatever would still be there. You know what I mean? But it moved away on its own. Like you probably didn't do anything to influence that. You probably didn't leave this person. You probably didn't leave this feeling. You probably didn't leave this stage of life. It left you. It graduated on. It left you. It went on to something else. You know what I mean? With this 10 of arrows back here in this past, you know, that 10 is the number of completion. It was done. It tripped you up and it was done. And it got the fuck on. It got on about its business. It moved from the page to the night. You know, it graduated. It elevated. You know, and moved on with this somewhat of a childish energy. You know, if it was a person, it might have been not an old person. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a young person. It wasn't an old person. More in the middle ages. Maybe not a middle-aged person, but more in the middle ages. You know, not quite mature. You know, but and if it was a situation, it probably wasn't a mature situation. If that makes any sense to you. Moving on to this 7, the Archer is a major arcana card. This is about finding what it is that fulfills you and finding what it is that you desire and moving forward. This is finding your strength, finding your power, and moving forward, advancing, Sagittarius. You know, that's the Sagittarius that I know. You know, the Sagittarius I know will go into a toxic situation and come up out of it and just start booming. Start booming. You know, and that's what this is about. This is about gaining that healing, gaining that confidence, not going back and moving forward. Knowing what it is that you want, finding that strength, finding that power, and being Sagittarius, like, fuck it, we're gonna do it big. It's time to go on this journey, baby. It's time to move forward. It's time to have what it is Sagittarius wants for once. All right, coming to the future. We have the Blasted Oak, the Page of Arrows, and the King of Arrows in reverse, okay? So, once again, this is all clarifying these Ace of Arrows. Spread the life in reverse, all right? Like I said, this is about moving away from a truth, you know what I mean? And I believe that this was your truth, okay? Right, especially right here with this Blasted Oak right here, this tower moment. You know, this is about the universe, to me, removing something out of your life, okay? This branch right here, obviously you're the tree. You reconnect. This branch was connected, and whoever this is was sitting on that tree. It does not have to be a person. It could be a habit. You know, it could be anything that's not serving your purpose, because whatever it was, the universe back here to strike a lightning struck it and removed that branch from you. I like to use myself, for example. You know, I was blowing good, smoking on that weed and shit. And whoever I had around me, because they would like to smoke weed off of me, you know what I'm saying, or get weed from me or whatever. And once I quit smoking weed and once I quit having weed and they couldn't get it, they were removed. Like, I don't hear from these people, you know what I mean? And the only time I ever hear from these people, they be like, hey, you got some weed? And I quit. You know, it's been 8 months this month. And I quit, you know. And so to them, it's just like, we have nothing else in common. There's no reason to contact tarot. There's none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? The connection is dead. And to me, that's the universe removing these people from my life because they no longer served any purpose, and I no longer my service to them was no longer servicing them. You know, so they were removed from my life. And just like this is your habit. You know what I mean? This is something that your branch that everybody or whatever it was sitting on, and the universe removed it. And when they removed it, whatever was sitting on this branch was also removed. They also fell, you know. So this is you sitting pretty. Okay, this is you sitting beautiful, and this is things still being cold around you. But the important part about that is that you are sitting pretty. You know what I mean? You're in a position to fly away, to move on if you truly want to. You're a bird that's still up north in the wintertime. You didn't fly south with all the other birds. You stayed up north, but you found a space to perch. It might not be a very high perch, but you found a place to perch, and it's a start. It's a brand new beginning for you. You are just now healed from this moment, from whatever it was that you were going through in this past that was tripping you up. And this is about healing and moving on, moving away from that truth. Maybe you believed that that you needed this branch, you know what I mean? But you didn't. You didn't, and the universe is showing you that. The universe left you. Look, I'm down there wondering if you went back and got that branch. The way this bird's sitting on his perch right here, like, man, hold on, let me hold on to this branch. You know what I mean? And maybe that is the message in there. Just on the strength that I feel that it's kind of like this is that same branch that got shot down and you flew down. You know what I mean? And you were kind of just holding on to this branch. But as you in this branch, you're looking around you and you see that as long as you hold on to this branch, everything around you is cold. Everything around you is cold. And this is like, it's the King Fisher, the King of Arrows in reverse. You know what I mean? This is like, so the King Fisher floats across the river and it sees what fish it wants. And it goes down and gets it. But this is in reverse. So this is like not getting the fish that you want. You know what I mean? But maybe that fish that you want is no good for you. And maybe you need to move away from this truth. I think in this future, the universe is trying to show you that what you were going towards serves you no purpose. And every time that you go back to it, things are cold around you. This is a negative situation. Every time you go back to the situation, something negative occurs. It's almost like you're dependent on this situation because this is what you want, but you can't have it. You can't have whatever fish that you want. You are not the kingfisher in this situation. You cannot have it. No. No. Transition, like this main energy saying, move on. Leave it alone. Move on. The universe is taking it from you. Quit going back to it, Sagittarius. That's why you are healing in this process right now. And the universe is telling you, no, Sagittarius, no. And one thing I know that Sagittarius does not like to hear is no. I don't mean to laugh, but man, you got to learn, you got to know. The universe is trying to show you. The universe is trying to show you. The universe has removed it out of your life. It didn't just leave back here in this past. The universe removed it. And every time you go back and get it, poison. We're going to get some clarifications. I mean, summarize each of these categories. You got the past, the present, and the future. Yes, the story comes together. In the past, you got your eye on something, okay? And whatever it is that you have your eye on is tangled up in every motherfucking thing else. And here you are up here. You're on the pedestal, Sagittarius. You're above this. You're above whatever this is. You know what I mean? But you keep going back to it. It's like you want it to lead you. It's like it's just toxic. Whatever the situation is, it's toxic. For a lot of y'all, it may be people. For a lot of y'all, it may be a thought. In all actuality, that's a lot of where depression stems from a thought, from an emotion, from a feeling. Excuse me. And if it is a thought and a feeling, that's this emotion down here all tangled up with everything else. People fall into that pit and you're just down here like, you know what I mean? Just charmed into it. If it is a person, same situation. You're charmed into it. You know what I mean? But in all actuality, everybody's snakes. But this is just tangled up with a bunch of other snakes. And at least you're a snake with a pedestal. You hear me? At least you're way up here. And this is where you need to remain. You need to know this, though. Because look at you, mesmerized by whatever this is down here that's caught your eye. And it's looking at you. You caught its eye too. But why wouldn't you? You're up on the pedestal. And this is the past. This is the past where this snake came in. And you allowed the snake to came in. The snake was toxic and was intertwined in so many other different things. And you allowed the snake to take control. You allowed the snake to come in and trip you up. And possibly take everything from you. So now you're in this present. And you're on this journey with this pole star right here. You're in this fantasy land, you know what I mean? And it's like a fantasy land that you need to shake. It's funny because somebody else just got this card too. But you're on this journey. And I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like you're coming back from this journey. When I just did this reading, this was a person going into this journey, but I think this is you coming back from that journey, coming out of that fantasy land, facing reality, seeing things as they are, learning from your experiences, knowing that whatever this was in the past has tripped you up and that you can't have it. You want it, but you can't have it. Fantasy is a wonderful place to live in. You're fantasizing. Everything that you want is in there. But when it's not working out for you, it turns into a nightmare, doesn't it? Definitely turns into a nightmare. Going into the future, we have, what is this? Seven of Vessels. This is a card of mourning, reminiscing, letting things die. Now, if it was the Death card, it'd be about letting things go and starting new. Nah, this is about letting shit die, missing it. If you got to, mourning it, just letting it go. Just let it go, Sagittarius, in this future. Let it die. You have nothing with it. These bowls are dry. It's just a skull here and some empty ass bowls. This is a vessel card. It's a water card, but there's no water in this picture. There's nothing there for you. Let all that emotion go. Let all that emotion die, because it's holding you up. It's tripping you up back here in this past. You learned your lesson, Sagittarius. All you have to do with the Sagittarius is a teacher. So the only way that I feel you can teach is if you learn from it. Learn lessons. So now you can teach. And right now you need to teach yourself, or in this future you need to teach yourself that you can't always have what you want. Everything that glitters is not gold. Everything is good that's not good for you. All right? Let's get a message from the universe. I like the reading. One thing that I want you to realize is that in this general card right here, this card of transition is 6 of arrows. And you see this is a beautiful swan floating up the river. And what's in it? Death. Death. Riding in that swan. So as you make this transition from whatever it was that was back in this past that you allowed to lead you, you may feel dead inside. But the universe is trying to tell you and trying to show you what's best for you. Leaving things behind that we honor and that we love is not always a good thing. Leaving depression behind is not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's not. You know, as you move on through your depression, you become alive. But in the meantime, you feel dead inside. Let's see what we got. Message from the universe, 3 arrows in reverse. This is about no longer being stabbed in the back. Being ahead of everything. Not having someone around or something around that's jealous of you. And let's not forget, this Moonology card was talking about you being confident. Let's go back through it. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, Sagittarius. When you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card also is a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for you or for your children. It's time to gain that confidence to move on, Sagittarius. It's time for that new project for you and possibly for your children if you have some. Okay? I hope you got a lot out this reading. And once again, I am Tarot King, the Prophet. This has been another Crown King Tarot presentation. Feels good to be back reading. It is dope. It's been a minute. I don't get fat and everything. I like being fat. All right, let me quit. But man, just take heed to the story. Take heed to what it is I'm telling you. Love, peace, and blessings to you. Thank you very much for tuning in and always being there waiting for me. Even though I've been very delinquent, it is what it is. Hopefully I'm back and I'm back for good. All right. I'm not a psychic, so I can't tell. I'm Tarot King the Prophet, y'all. Peace.